How we doing, FT fam? And Scotty Braun and Eric Kratz were already in Texas. You're like a different person out here.
Am I bigger?
In person?
Well, everything's bigger in Texas.
I see you in Pennsylvania sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's different for me. Oh, you're saying are you bigger because you're in Texas?
Right,
no,
because they said everything's bigger in Texas.
No, because right now we're
I'm just
at
confirming.
a
So you're
hotel
not
that
hearing
is
us?
absolutely massive.
It is massive.
Massive. So it does make you look small.
It does, but we're here. We're here. We're getting through some things. But
Yeah,
the
you're seeing
Louisville
all your
Slugger,
friends.
Baseball America, get to see Kenny Holmberg. I haven't seen Kenny Holmberg since I was in rookie ball.
Scout?
He's now a player development with the Rangers. He's helping out with the Futures game, but he was the son of Dennis Holmberg, the longtime unbelievable coach for the Blue Jays. And Kenny was hitting BP, ended up getting drafted with us, with the Brewers. And it's just cool to see people like this. This is what this is all about. Like you can't get through a lobby like this without seeing somebody that you know from baseball, from playing, a coach, a parent. I mean, it's unbelievable. I love being here early, so get all the introductions out.
Yeah. You get to see everybody throughout the week here, and then it gets really crazy next week, of course. So we are here for a little Baseball America Prospect Pad show that we'll do later on, and that'll be on the Baseball America YouTube channel. We're going to talk to some of the top prospects in the sport. They're all here right now because they're playing in the Futures game tomorrow.
Which I'm so excited about.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Which part? Are you excited just to see the players, or are you excited about the skills competition? Be honest.
I'm more excited about the skills competition.
Yeah, that's fine. You can be.
Because this is what these guys can do. There's no we can see through the window here, the opposite side of this camera, we can see the stadium. Some of these guys have never, while they're the best prospects in the game, at their respective positions, teams, whatever, they've never been on a big league field. So you're talking about adrenaline pumping. They're going to get out there, and they're not worried about how am I going to be able to do in the second half if I do a throwing competition, a hitting competition, home run stuff. This is a display of the future of the game, and I'm so excited to be here because I was never here as a player, so I never got to experience this.
Yeah, now you get to see it. From the media side, you're a media member now.
All right.
Yes.
That sounds terrible.
Nah, it's not that bad.
Okay.
New media. I like to use that word. Sunday, we're going to do a draft show. So if you're watching right now on Valley Sports, you'll be able to see some really good, authentic draft breakdowns with us two, AJ Pierzynski, JJ Cooper. It's going to be great. And then Monday and Tuesday, we'll have FT shows for you as well, of course, leading up to Home Run Derby and to the All-Star game. Do you want to charge the mound? Okay.
I would love to, except for the guy I won't bury the lead. Go ahead.
Okay. You don't want to charge Paul Skenes.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He is starting on the mound for the National League in the All-Star game. Let's go. Okay? Yes, his season started in May?
Yes, May 11th he got called up.
Whatever. It's a month later. He's been insane. He's coming off another insane performance. We're seeing some highlights from it right now. Skenes against Milwaukee. He had a no-no through 7. The 7th inning was 6 pitches, by the way, and they were like, 99 pitches. We got to save this nice little asset that we have long-term. But he's going to start in the All-Star game for the National League.
That is incredible. It's only incredible because he was just pitching in the College World Series last year. 99 pitches, but a hit ain't one. It looks easy for him. And for me, you sit there and you go, there's a lot of guys that throw hard. There's not a lot of guys that talk the way that he talks. Talking about hey, the big league ball is a little bit different. I have to change my finger position on my four-seamer than how it was in the minor leagues, even in college last year. And normally when there's dudes like this that throw the way he's throwing, you sit there and you go, wow, he's just out stuffing everybody. But to me, he's out game planning. He's sounds so honest with himself. Yesterday he was talking post game about how he's like, well, I just want to, I want to be honest in my bullpens and really take a look at what pitches were effective and what pitches weren't and the swings. And I was like, this sounds like a 10-year vet.
Well, he's going to be like a 10-year vet on the mound because you don't get to see rookies start in games.
No.
Very often.
If he plays for 15 years, he may never start another All-Star game.
What?
I'm just saying,
Oh, you're saying
things
the
to line up
rarity of being able to do something
to
like this.
start an all-star game.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even discount the fact that he's a rookie. Like, that is incredible, and that's all the talk that's going to be there. There is a ton of guys that will never start more than one all-star game. You have to line up. If his team is in the playoffs, they're not going to sit there and go, we'll skip your Sunday start before the all-star break because we want you to start the all-star game. Like, things have to line up well. You can have a bad first half. He can
Well,
go
this is
through
his
bumps.
only first half.
But I'm saying later in his career.
Oh, sure.
He could have a 15-year career and never start another all-star game. We need to celebrate this, and we need to appreciate it for what it is.
Do you like how Torey Lovullo explained his knowledge of what the game is all about? And when I say the game, I mean showcasing the game and showing people how incredible some of the talent is. This is not a slight to some of the other really strong NL starters. Like, Ranger Suarez is starting tonight for Philly.
Could have easily started.
And he's probably a guy that's a little ticked about it.
Should be.
That's a competitor.
Yes.
But at the same time, no offense to Ranger, Paul Skenes is a more entertaining pitcher to watch.
Not as electric. And I would completely agree. I would have said 2 weeks ago, Ranger Suarez should be the starting pitcher for the All-Star game. And I think Torey Lovullo 100% got this right. He hit it right on the nose that this is what we need for the game, and he is good for the game.
Yes. So it's awesome. Great news. And then another minute actually on his performance. So 7 no-hit innings.
Oh, that.
Of course, he comes out, and what happens? Colin Holderman gives up a knock. Next batter. Doesn't matter. They won the game. Although it was a tight game, you could make the case that you maybe wanted to see Skenes for one more inning. If he's at 99, like, he had just gone off a 6-pitch inning. Do you need to do the, all right, high five, good job, let's end this on a high note? Or could you have bought another 1 to 3 batters, depending on how quickly it went in the 8th?
So as a team that needs to win, the Pirates.
Yes. And as a future manager, tell us what you would have done. Not knowing exactly what's going on behind the scenes in terms of what their plan is with him. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing.
You would have taken him out at that point?
Because you're fully stocked at the back end of the bullpen of what you have. If you don't trust the guys that you have down there to be better than Paul Skenes at pitch 100 to essentially, I'm thinking 115 pitches. Because it's still a one-run game. It's not. If it was
and
a
even
115
is going to make them nervous right now.
It will. It doesn't make you ask me as a manager. It doesn't make me nervous.
Right.
But
doesn't make him nervous either.
It doesn't make Paul Skenes nervous. It doesn't make. Honestly, it probably doesn't even make Shelton nervous. The organization is probably nervous. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, in a one-run game, you're playing for no home runs, which just automatically elevates your pitch count. If it's a 3-run game, now Grandal's sitting middle, and he's like, let's go. Like, he's coming right down the middle.
Best stuff in the zone. Make him swing.
You're still throwing all your pitches. You get behind 2-0. You're still throwing that curveball back. Like, you're not doing anything different. It's just the intent and the focus. And I think possibly you could get out there and do it, but you don't. In that case, I completely agree with Shelton.
Okay. Nice. Well, congrats to Skenes. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot more about him starting the All-Star game over the next few days. But let's move to some news here. Kevin Kiermaier is on waivers. And initially it was reported revocable waivers. That's not even a thing anymore, so it's just waivers. So here's the quote from KK, who learned about this right after the game from manager John Schneider. It's more of a wake-up call than anything, saying, hey, I don't know how much time I do have left here. I'm going to embrace everyone around here and see what happens. I mean, his numbers are bad. He's got a 48 OPS plus, 100 is league average, 183, 232 on base, the slug's sub 300, and he's played 70 games, 3 homers, 5 stolen bags. He's not hitting. He's 34 years old. He can still run. He can still play a mean center field. But what the Blue Jays are doing here is saying, does anybody want this player for free? You have to pick up the remainder of his money. He signed for about $10 million in the offseason, so it's $4.5 million. And he's likely to not be claimed. I'm just putting that out there based on the bat, because what teams will do is say, let that pass.
We can get to later.
Then we'll talk to you, and we can pick him up and get the Blue Jays to cover, say, half the money, and now we have Kiermaier for $1 million or $2 million or something like that, right?
No,
like,
it would be everything.
No, right now it would if they pick him up on waivers. My point is, I don't think he's going to get scooped up off waivers.
Right. Oh,
then the team keeps the player if they want to, right? And then you can make a trade with that team, and they can pick up some of the money.
I was thinking, once he's done
right now, the Blue
waivers,
Jays are trying to save money, and here's why: the Blue Jays are about $10 million over the luxury tax number. They are going to be sellers at the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get themselves under that number. Trading someone like this makes it much easier. Or not trading, waiving someone like this and getting someone else to pick that up already covers half the $10 million. It does become a numbers game and a money game. Newsflash, the Blue Jays are not making the playoffs this year. They're going to sell pieces. It's likely going to be the guys that are free agents coming up, not the longer-term players. That's what everyone's been saying, right, with Bo Bichette and Vlad Jr. At least that's what everyone on the Blue Jays side that has any say has been saying.
Right now.
But anyway, what about KK? Because,
I mean, KK as a person,
yeah, but
he's worth it $4.5 million. KK as a player,
he's not hitting though.
Is not hitting. But this is where a team that needs defense in center field, needs not even center field, like needs a fourth outfielder.
Yeah.
Can find spots for a player of his ilk, his ability out there to right now, he's going to come in and he's going to play a 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to come in for Nick Castellanos when he makes the last out in the 6th or 7th inning. He's going to – I'm not saying it's the Phillies. I'm saying that's the place. And you're going to find at-bats for a guy like that in his lane. What does that look like? I don't know. I haven't delved into his numbers. You know, what is he against righties? I'm sure the Jays have tried all that stuff. Everybody, like a rising tide raises all ships.
You're saying if he goes elsewhere,
it's going to go up over 183, 232, and 290. Is it going to be 200 plus, OPS plus? No,
you just honestly with KK, you just need him to be in like the 80 to 90 range-ish, like a little below average because the defense is that good.
Yep.
And the Phillies are looking for a center fielder. I'll just use them as an example. They're talking to teams, right? Luis Robert's going to cost you a ton in prospects. Even if you go for a Jake McCarthy, a lot of team control left. I don't know if the Diamondbacks would deal him. I don't know if Jazz is the right guy for center field, right? This guy can be a championship center fielder for you. He's free right now. I'm just throwing it out there. If you're the Phillies and it's championship or bust, it's not a bad guy to consider. They need a center fielder. They've been pretty vocal with other teams about it. So just throwing it out there.
Yep.
But we'll talk more about it a little bit later on, especially if we get any news about KK actually getting picked up. I don't think it's going to happen. We'll swing right back and keep rolling on FT. So stay here. All right, we're good. So let's chat for a moment about the San Francisco Giants because Farhan Zaidi basically said, don't expect much. He said, when I look at our team, we have pretty solid players at every spot in the field. We have a rotation that's getting healthier and a bullpen that's done a nice job. So nothing jumps out as a spot where we need an emergency plug-in.
Don't expect much.
Do you remember how much they did last year? It's a high bar.
I thought they made one move.
No, they did nothing. Nothing of significance. Nothing.
That's tough. That's tough because they're a team. It's like they've tested the water, like they feel how cold the water is, and they're like, I put my one toe in the water. I don't know. I'm just going to kind of sit on the dock here and just swing my legs in the water. Like, they're a financial team, and I wonder if that's hard for Farhan. I wonder if that's hard for him because, to me, he's built these teams that have produced mediocrity.
Right.
And the ownership there has not been a family to buy. It almost feels like if this is your job on the line, and maybe it's not on the line, shouldn't there be a time to like push all in here? Shouldn't we get after it as a team? I don't know what kind of message it sends to the guys on the team. Yeah, we're not going to do much. But it also can send a message of, hey, you know what? who we have is who we have, and we like the team that we have.
Todd Father, you hear us? No Todd Father yet.
No Todd Father.
We're working on him, though.
Sneaky Todd.
Yes. But anyway, I think the Giants actually made some quality moves in the offseason. I know it hasn't completely come together for them. I wasn't expecting this team to be a juggernaut. I just thought they'd be a playoff contender. They are. They're in the playoff mix. You know, they signed Chapman. They signed Soler. They signed Lee.
Blake Snell.
They did a lot.
And they did it their way.
Yeah, they did.
That they were like,
they squeezed some guys, but that was the market.
But everybody was squeezed. That's fine. How do we sit there and go?
Thanks.
How do we sit there and go? Okay, we squeeze these guys, but we're building our team to do X. We're not going to do X, Y, and Z. We're going to do X. They sit there and they go, "Oh, sweet."
Try and bring in our next guest? Well, let's bring in Todd Father first.
What? We don't hear Todd, but we see him.
Father. Oh, you're out. Here's our guest.
This is
Skip
the guy.
Schumaker joining us right now, the manager of the Miami Marlins. Skip, do you hear us?
I hear you guys, yeah.
Yes, awesome. Great to have you on. How you doing?
I'm doing well, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. Now, I mean, right off the jump here, we're in Texas, right? So I feel like we're already in the future of what your life's going to look like in a few days in terms of being on a break, all-star break. I feel like we're already in that, even though there's a few games left to go in the first half of the season. Overall picture of evaluating what this has been like for you. We know, I mean, the team's not in the spot where you'd want it to be. It was an amazing run last year to the postseason. Give me one thing really positive and one thing that really makes you angry about the first half of the season.
The positives are, I think the bullpen has been outstanding. Tanner Scott has, really resurrected his career into a guy that is one of the most reliable, dominant closers in the major leagues that you can trust in the toughest pockets of any against any team to start out with last year. And then now it's, he's our ninth inning guy, or get us out of a big late inning jam in the eighth and into the ninth. AJ Puck was, tried to become a starter this year, went back to the bullpen, has been as good as anybody the last few weeks. And Andrew Nardi, and Bender have been really good. So our bullpen has been, one of the bright spots, no doubt about it. I'd say the frustrating part, again, on the pitching side is, we've been crushed by injury. It started with Sandy last year. Then going into spring training, Yuri had Tommy John. Luzardo went down with the back injury. Braxton Garrett, has something going on in his kind of elbow flexor. So there's just been a number of guys that have been, going down, that have been lost for the majority of the year, that really tested our depth. And then Ryan Weathers, who got a chance, who was doing really well, he went down. So it's been challenging, no doubt about it. But I think a lot of teams have been going through this. We just haven't been very good as of late, and hopefully the second half will be a different story.
Oh, but first of all, I want to say a quote that David Freese let me know. He said, Skip Schumaker has the cutest butt in all of MLB. Okay? Is that still the case as the manager of the Marlins?
Thank you, David. That's not something I thought I was going to hear on the show. So, of all things, Freeze to quote is pretty amazing. I have hopefully my wife thinks that. That's I don't know.
There you go.
What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, that is actually, that should not surprise you that A, that comes out of his mouth, and B, that it does pop up on this show. Yeah, we've done worse.
We've definitely done worse.
Yeah. You gotta bring some, what do they call it? Like some humor, some levity to the first half of the season.
Just reality.
Yeah.
Just reality. All right, then I'm gonna go to the little bit that Skip and I played together in spring training. And I actually got a ride from Skip. I think you had your surfboard on the truck when I was getting a ride with you. And you talked about not playing anymore. You're like, I think this is it. And I was like, I barely know this guy. And he's telling me, like, this might be it. Like, I could tell you were grinding through it. Now as a manager, because you made it to be a manager, whether or not that was your goal, like, oh, I have to be a manager one day. It's just something that you're freaking good at, clearly. Manager of the year last year. Now that you're there and now that you've seen the things that you've seen, are you glad you're there? Are you glad you're a manager in the big leagues?
I am. So, yeah, it's a funny story. That year in spring training, Rod Barajas was we had a split squad, and Rod Barajas was the manager of the split squad. And I was like 0 for 8 or 0 for 9 in spring training. And I looked at Rod and I said, listen, if I make an out against this guy, I'm done. He thought I meant I was like done for the day. I meant if I can't get a hit off this guy, my career is over. Like that's when you know, right? Baseball usually tells you when you're done. So like I'm like, if that guy is getting me out, that's it. So 3 pitches later, I ground out to second. Rod says, all right, go ahead, you're good. So I call Andy Green that night and I just said, hey, listen, that's it. That's over. It's over. And we had a long talk. It was really, good conversation. But that was now Rod's on my staff, which is kind of funny, right? So I told him that he sent me to retirement. But but to your, it's scary when you are, thinking about, moving on to the next step. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I talked to my wife. My wife said, "I'm not your hobby. Figure something out." Right. And so I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. So I do know that if you leave the game, baseball will forget about you quick. And so I wanted to stay in the game in some capacity. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I loved the game. I just didn't know what I wanted to become. Luckily, AJ Preller and Andy Green wanted me on in the San Diego Padre organization. Very grateful for that. I got to go around the minor league system, stay around the big leagues a little bit, and I just fell in love with the teachings of the game. It was really hard for me as a player to survive, and I learned so much from so many great players and coaches that I felt like I had enough to give back to help out, and started kind of down that road of special assistant to first base coach to bench coach, and here I am. But it was never my goal to be a manager. I just wanted to be around really good people, keep learning, keep growing, and kind of fell into this, and I absolutely love it. There's no doubt. I love the grind. I love the last year of the wins and getting into the postseason. I love the grind this year when there's you find out who you are when you're up against some adversity and losing, right? That really shows your true colors. So it's been a growing year for me, no doubt about it. But I'm still in the major leagues. I still get to manage one of 30 teams, and that's never lost upon me.
And your son gets to experience it too. I know he was just visiting you. I've seen the highlights on the X. He looks like he's a little bit better than you. But hey, we're not here to discuss scouting reports or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah, he's a good kid.
It's fun. It's fun to watch. Now you talk about the grind. You talk about the grinds.
The grind. Honestly, the grind of being away. I live in California, so being 3,000 miles away in Miami is tough. I have a 16-year-old son who plays baseball. I miss majority of his games. I have a 14-year-old daughter who plays soccer. I miss the majority of her games during the summer, so that part is difficult. Luckily, I have a really good staff around me that has played for a lot of guys have either coached or played for a long time, and it's really good to have those guys around because you're constantly learning. It's fun to come to the ballpark. We have a new front office that came in. I get to learn from that front office, different from any front office that I've been a part of. And trying to figure out a way to get this thing right. So it's been challenging, but also a very good learning experience for us.
Yeah. Skip, what's up, big dog? Can you hear me?
Hey,
What's up,
I
babe?
got you, Todd Father.
Finally getting on here, brother. Hope all is well. My question to you is, with the home run derby coming up here, I'm just curious your thoughts on, what's the best home run derby you've ever been to and sat and
Oh,
watched?
here we go.
I'm just curious. I know you've seen a bunch of them, so I
Good
just want to know
question, Todd. Good
what the
question.
best one is.
The best one by far, and I would say this even if you weren't on this this podcast, Todd, is yours. Honestly, it was so cool to have a hometown kid in Cincinnati. Brody and I were in the stands watching it in the All-Star break, during the All-Star break, and you winning it was a really special moment for the city and obviously for you and the family. So that was a really, really cool moment.
All right, now I'll get serious with you here. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. But now we're going into the second half here. We got trade deadlines coming up, man. It looks like you guys might be sellers here, so it might be a different look. How is your feelings towards that? And, maybe not. You got a guy like Jazz Chisholm who's hitting a home run on every first pitch of the game. He might be gone. There's a good possibility. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the most dangerous thing you can do as a manager is try to become GM. If you have 26 guys in here that you're trying to get better and trying to win today, no matter what our record is, the process is still we're trying to beat the Cincinnati Reds today. And that is what my focus is on, and trying to, we have a young roster that we're trying to develop and trying to understand and show them what winning looks like. So that's number one. Number two, the deadline is the deadline. I'm aware. We've been around a long time. We understand how this thing goes. There are teams that do add for their future also in a position like ours. So I don't really know exactly, what we end up doing. I do know that, we have, some attractive players that I'm sure some teams would want that are, trying to get to the postseason. The goal of a manager and a coaching staff is try to eliminate distractions, trade rumors, off the field stuff, X, Instagram, all that stuff, right? That's what you're trying to eliminate, the BS every day, whether it's up to the trade deadline or anything else that's going on in their lives. This is part of it, right? And I think if people start reading it too much into it, they start focusing on the wrong things. If trades happen, we've all been traded. They happen. There's nothing you can do. I've been traded, right? And so sometimes, that's part of the business. But right now, we're trying to focus on trying to beat the Reds.
So what does that look like? Last night you had a drop fly ball in the outfield. You had a wild pitch and a balk to get a runner in scoring position. What does that look like? What is that conversation from Skip Schumaker the next day or even that night?
Yeah, I'm grateful that I have a great coaching staff that, and I know that there's teaching moments every game. There's teaching moments on winning clubs. There's teaching moments on a club like ours that's in a little bit of a funk right now. John Jay is a really good outfield coach. He has been through the highs and the lows. He was one of the better outfielders as a player, and he's wants to give back and he wants these guys to be great. And so we're not afraid to have those tough conversations. So sometimes they happen right away. Sometimes they happen on the flight. Sometimes they happen over a drink on the flight. Sometimes they happen the next day and kind of a check your ego type of, meeting, whether it's one-on-one or in a group setting. We have no issues of having, tough conversations, because at the end of the day, the players want to know where they stand and how to get better. And sometimes that's not an easy conversation, but luckily we have, some experience on the staff that we're able to be as direct as possible, because in the end, we're just trying to get you to where you want to be, which is a winning player on a winning team. And that's really all I care about. So yeah, we had some stuff that was, that's how you lose games, right? You give teams extra outs, really good teams extra outs. They capitalize, and the Houston Astros absolutely capitalized, and it hurt us. And we've had some tough moments, but some learning lessons along the way. And last night was definitely one of them.
What would you say to a guy if they're If they kind of are like, "What? I want out. Like I want out. I want to go to a."
Yeah, first of all, I think you have to be realize where you are and bloom where you're planted, right? One of my good buddies back at home told me that when I first got this job, when I was like having a tough time, figuring out how I'm going to do this away from my family. It's like bloom where you're planted. And right now, you are a Miami Marlin, and we're trying to still win games. And I think if you are thinking again about another team or trying to get to the playoffs for and looking at other rosters, you're going to fail, and then the other team's not going to want you anyway. So I think that's just another distraction, and which we're trying to eliminate. But I've always thought about the quote of bloom where you're planted. Right now, you have a job to do for the Miami Marlins, and we are still. Until you're not on our roster, we're still trying to, help us win games. So again, they're rumors, they're trade rumors. Listen, we want to go to the playoffs just as bad as any player wants to go to the playoffs. That's the goal, right? Is you signed up to win. And if you're not doing it, you're not doing your job, including myself. This is not what, we all signed up for. And so we got to try to figure it out. And we can't let the player think too far ahead. It's just a day in, day out process.
Hey,
I'd be remiss if. Oh, go ahead, Todd.
No,
you got it, Todd.
So, understandably, we all know you're going to be a free agent next year. So, I got a couple options for you. Just tell me yes or no. All right. We got a 12-year-old Tom Javrice Little League next year coming up. Big opportunity for you to get to Williamsport. I know you've been dreaming about it ever since. Money, I mean, we could talk money. We could talk years. You just let me know. Tom Javrice Little League, 12-year-old squad, yes or no?
It's tough living in your shadow. I don't know if if I'm good enough, honestly. So I'm going to have to probably pass on that one. It's too big of a job.
Hear me out here. You'll be the manager. I'll coach third, and it'll be all on me to make the calls to the guy around third base, and you can yell at me. The parents will love every second of it.
The worst coach you can have is someone that wants your job. And I feel like you would want my job every step of the way. So I think I might be out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. I enjoy that. I know you're not thinking about free agency, but there's going to be a time where you're going to have to. I know it's Marlins right now, but there's going to be a bunch of opportunities for you. You don't even have to say a word. I just know it's going to be exciting off season for you as well.
Well, I'm grateful for the one of the 30 jobs I have right now, and I got to figure out how to get this thing right. I'm not looking to New Jersey just yet, but we'll see what happens.
All right, so if New Jersey's out, there's no professional teams. Tom's River is the closest to a professional team that you can get. But in the offseason, when they approached you about not having, not extending you after manager of the year, when they approached you about not even having the hook that's left, how did that make you feel in the sense of comparing it to getting released from a team as a player? Because that's all me and Todd can associate with getting released. Oh, they didn't think I was good enough. How did that feel for you? You're manager of the year. You're the best manager in the National League. You took your team to the playoffs, and now this team doesn't want you back in the same. You guys couldn't agree to come back in the same realm for past this season.
Yeah, I think those as you know, Kratzy, those are pretty private conversations between myself and ownership and that type of thing. And Bruce Sherman has been fantastic to me. So it was never about me not wanting to be here, or contracts fell apart or that type of stuff. I think more than anything was just there's a new president coming in. That we have to build a relationship, and figure out if we can do this together. Peter has been really great to me. Bruce and his family have always been really great to me. The owner of the Marlins. So all that stuff always works out and plays out, right? Just like free agency as a player. The same thing is, in my seat that, if I'm not doing my job, they won't want me back anyways. That's just how it works. I remember Tony La Russa told me a long time ago that he took 1-year deals all the time because he didn't want to feel like the club was handcuffed, and he wanted the club to want him back as well. So again, we'll see. I'm a free agent, just like there are players free agents, and there's always time will tell what's going to happen. But I will have to say that there was no like real hard feelings, or it never got personal or anything like that. I've been grateful to. This was my first year getting this job as a manager. So I learned a lot through the year, learning a lot this year, and then the contract's the contract. We'll see what happens.
Hey, I'm going to finish it with this. So remember you made fun of the travel bag I had back in the day? And you ended up buying me the travel bag. I still use that travel bag for today, just so you know. It's golden. I don't know where you got that bag from.
What is it?
I need it. What?
What was the bag? What was the bag, Todd?
I don't remember. I
was
think
it JanSport?
Might have been a Samsonite or something. Either way. How old is Brody now?
Brody's 16, committed to TCU. It's kind of a crazy journey. It's been a fun ride to watch him grow up.
Now, my last question to you, and you can make this real quick. Are we going to see a Brody Skip kind of LeBron James Bronny thing, like wherever you go, he's got to go thing deal, or what?
No, listen. I don't have that good much pull in the game like Braun does, so there's no chance that that's going to happen in my seat. That'd be pretty funny though.
It's a good attempt. It's a good attempt. Skip, this was awesome catching up with you, me, and the two clowns. Appreciate the time as always, man. Finish strong this weekend, and then enjoy the break and come out strong second half. Thanks, Skip.
Yeah, thanks. Big fan of your show, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Skip Schumaker with us on FT Live. We'll be right back. Hey, here we are for some of the FT fam right now. Top Father, good to see you, my dude.
Good to see you. Sorry about earlier, man. I don't know.
It's not you?
Are you trying to get that hat to fit on your head?
Yeah, it's tough, man. You got to really jam it.
What? Hold on, man. Hold on.
I like that. It fits. I like both. Either way. I mean, that's actually nice.
Are you trying to flex on us?
Yeah.
You got the pre Yankees hat? The pre All-Star Yankees hat?
Wow.
No, it's not the All-Star hat. This was
it's the Memorial Day weekend.
Yes. So
yeah. I like that.
It's fire.
I like that.
It is fiery. Yankees.
It is.
Yeah.
And the next time we see Todd, by the way, he will be in Texas.
Oh,
Tell everyone what you got cooking for the Derby broadcast.
Yeah, I'm working with ESPN, and I'm going to be one of the broadcasters doing the Home Run Derby. I'm pretty excited about that. It'll be Eduardo Perez, Carl Ravage running the show, and I'm just going to be behind with them, just cruising right along, talking about home runs. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. I got a lot of good stuff. Oh, yeah, I'll be right on the field. So, yep. And got a lot of good insight on these guys, so we'll see. I got my picks ready, too. We could talk about that if you want to later, so we'll see.
Ooh, you got your home run picks? Like you went through the
I did my homework, and I think I know who's going to win it.
Nice.
Okay. If somebody says they think they know who's going to win, you need to listen. It's Todd. Todd is the guy.
Now, there's a number of reasons why you could say that. Yeah. I would say, yeah, he's been in a derby, and he's going to be locked in for this one to call it. But it's not about that. It's about the man being a prediction aficionado in 2024.
Yep.
And it's tough for us to kind of pump up Todd anyway, right?
Yeah,
especially you with Step Brother Friday.
We don't need to.
Anyway, we're going to come right back. We're going to get Todd a little pissed off. We're going to go over the Yankees strike 3 call yesterday and a few other things from that Yankees-Rays game coming up.
I love seeing Todd mad.
What's up, FT fam? We're back. All right. So Todd Father's here for the ride, and I know he was watching the Yankees-Rays game from yesterday. And you might be like, we're hitting this series quite a bit. We're going to get to some of the others too. Before we get to Todd's favorite ump show, I do want to start with the fact that it was a crazy play in center field to end this game. Okay, Peter Fairbanks on the mound, who's one of the best sound bites in baseball, too. He had a great little line about Des Bryant after the game. But anyway, Caballero, who's been a spark plug for the Rays, goes out there. Well, there's Pete. Yeah, we'll talk about him in a minute. Caballero goes out into center field, saves the day with a nice little catch. The controversy, though, Todd, was about I'm confusing you and Skenes. Sorry about it.
Hey, I'll take it.
Hey, you want to start the All-Star game on the mound? Yeah. The controversy, though, was, he celebrated and dropped the ball. It's not controversial. Obviously, the Yanks are like, review it. He didn't catch it. I mean, you're going to say that when you're on the field, right? Here it is. We're looking at it. But, Todd, when you first watched it in the beginning, you knew it was a catch, right? We know this isn't football, and you need to take the damn ball home with you before it's ruled a catch.
No, well, you know what? At first, you see the ball kind of move in his glove in real motion in real time. I honestly thought he did drop it, but when they slowed it down, it was a simple, easy catch. There was no disagreeing there. But in real time, I did think he dropped it. I mean, they were 1 for 9 in runners in scoring position. Like it wasn't pretty, and they're just not playing the baseball the way they should. Soto did well in the beginning. It looked like his hand was hurting him again. So they really need to get to this All-Star break so they can reconvene and figure some things out.
That rule actually got changed because in 2013 they changed the rule that you have to actually take it from your glove to your hand, no matter how long you've had it in your glove, to make it a catch. Because in the 2014 World Series, Blanco was in center field for the Giants, and he caught it running in, and he was running in. It was a third out, and he kept running in, and he took it, and he flipped it up with his glove to whoever it was, Brandon Crawford or No Joe Panic, and they dropped it. They dropped it, and they could have actually called that safe. And so they changed that rule, I think, in like 17 or 18 then, because that technically would have been a drop.
Wow.
But anyway, that's a rule nerd thing.
Yeah, Gregor Blanco.
What a catch, though, bro. Did you see?
How did he catch that?
Absolutely. How didn't they run into each other? That's the sense of mind of knowing where – because you're playing center field. You're coming in you're flying to take a quick peek, to divert to the right side. Those two guys would have been critically hurt. Just knowing, hey, I'm going to catch this ball no matter what, knowing I can get absolutely truck stick right now. Wow. What a truly – that's a top 10 play for the whole year.
And he looked over the other hand. I don't know about you, Todd, but they were – when you're going back, you want to look opposite your glove side. It's hard to explain now, but he looked glove side, which diverts your depth perception. Anytime you go over your head, it's really hard because the ball is going to continue to go past you.
No, it makes sense. If you're watching right now, right, you can just put your hand up,
your glove hand,
and look one way versus the other. It's different, and pretend like you're going for a baseball. There it is. Not to mention, there's a man at third. This is the game,
this
right?
Counts.
It's a sick catch, but also, and like Todd Father mentioned, I mean, people could get hurt. Siri never really totally stopped going for it in center.
Just kind of did
also, if the ball falls, now we're at 5-5, and it's a different looking series. Yeah, Yankees lose another series, by the way. They're like 0-7-1 in their last 8 series. It was a crucial catch to win that game.
Yeah.
Game-winning catch. It was cool.
Yep.
And then, Fairbanks' post-game was hilarious about it, as usual. So he was just talking about the fact that, he caught it. Des Bryant did not, if for any football fans back in the day. Did you guys like that little plug? And like the awareness that he had to throw that out there?
Just
Unbelievable.
that's
The guy's a talking soundbite. I think we got Will Benson waiting for us, though, right now, Scotty Slice.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so let's step aside. We'll be back in 2.5 minutes with Will Benson from the Reds.
Oh, we back.
We back.
We still in Texas. People be rolling.
When we're back on Bally's TV and on Marquee, we will bring in Will Benson from the Cincinnati Reds outfield to get a little check on where the Reds are at. Always a nice combo to get Todd Father involved there. Have you talked to Will on the show? We've had him once or twice. I don't think you were on.
Not yet. I've talked to him
he's
at
great.
the stadium. He's solid dude as they come, man. I wouldn't want to go around him when he's angry, but this dude's a big boy.
Oh, please, Todd. He sat right next to me. He was scared of me. He was looking all.
Oh, stop.
We were in Vegas. He was looking all like had his hooded sweatshirt on. He didn't want none of this. That's why he's not here right now. Just wanted to fight us.
Did you just give a fake wave to a fake fan over there, thinking you're cool? You went like this and gave a smile. There ain't nobody waving you over there.
All show. He's got the shirt too. He's got the foul territory shirt on today.
If you knew, you knew. Okay.
So people are like, is that Eric Kratz from FT?
That's probably his son. Dad, I forgot my socks. Like, where are my socks? Yeah.
And I'm like, no, that's not. We're not discussing that right now. It was a mover and a shake. It was a mover and shaker in the game. Who I know.
Kratz is also like,
I'm not going to put her business
I played
out
Major
there.
League Baseball.
Hey,
They're like, I love you on FT, and he's like, I played for teams like the Phillies and Pirates. They're like, no, you didn't.
No.
Did you ever play minor league ball in Texas, Kratz? Did you ever play minor leagues in Texas?
Gracias Dios. No, I did not.
For the Heat, you're saying you would have toasted.
Oh, my gosh. Dude, I sweat like Francisco Cervelli at a drug test everywhere. How do you think I would be in Texas? Like, Texas?
Did you really just say that?
I don't say that.
Don't say that.
You played, obviously, against teams in Texas.
Oh, yeah. Played in the old stadium. Right around the corner here.
This guy,
I couldn't imagine.
Kratzy had a tryout at the Polo Grounds one year.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, this guy's too old. Get him off the field. Get off the field, Fogey. Anyway, we got to come right back. Will Benson's ready for us, so we'll be right back.
You serious, Todd?
Serio.
Hey, FT fam, we're back, and we've got one of our favorite interviews back on FT. It's Will Benson. What is that? Do we have,
wait,
guess. Don't show
Todd,
us. Don't show us.
Todd,
Will.
you gotta don't show us.
Don't show us
the jersey.
Keep
Todd,
the shot
you need
like
to
that.
guess. You need to guess what jersey he's wearing, and if you say a baseball jersey, you're off the show for life. Okay?
No. I mean, I'm hoping it's an old school one, but can you tell if it's old or new? Can you give me a hint?
No,
it's a new school.
All right, so it's a new school. So I'm going to go with Davis, Anthony Davis.
No, it's LeBron James.
It's LeBron.
I knew it was going to be damn LeBron James, man.
Yeah, but that was good. You didn't go with chalk. You didn't go with chalk, right?
I like that. Todd loves plus numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on, let me ask this. Hold on, Scotty, let me ask. Who's the best NBA player to ever play the game?
In my opinion, it's still Michael Jordan, but
thank you.
Yes, I mean obviously statistically, LeBron is the greatest player, but I'm picking Michael first.
Without a doubt. Thank you very much, and that warms my heart.
Of course.
Does he?
I should have
break? this is completely off baseball, but if Michael's playing right now, does he have better numbers than LeBron?
I think so. Absolutely. I mean, you know better than anyone. It's all about the mindset, mentality, and Michael would have got the job done. He would have still got the job done regardless.
Okay.
And also, what would be the number that we're comparing? I would say titles, and Michael would have more.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going off of.
Everybody.
Yeah, LeBron might have more, assists and blocks and whatever, but
Absolutely.
for just dubs and clutch shots and all of that, yeah, I'm a Michael guy too.
Yep.
There you go. I like it. So
All
anyway, let's get to baseball for a few. Will, how you been? Give us the state of the Reds right now, because I know it's been an up and down season. I know some guys are kind of working their way back right now. We've been big believers in the talent. So do you see this kind of starting to formulate?
Absolutely. I think the past, I would say, month and a half or so, we've been putting together just some really solid series, really, really good weeks of baseball. So, like you said, too, a lot of guys trying to come around and just play how we were kind of playing, last year, but more so this year. We are finding new ways to get wins, which I think is just showing kind of the versatility of who we are. And again, when a lot of us are up and down that lineup doing what we do best, I think we're a pretty hard team to beat. So we've been really tapping into that the past month or so, I would say.
So the past month, you've still had some up and downs. Before that, you had the team had some downs, and it was like, give us a mindset or give us the state of mind that you guys were in when you get swept by a team, and then the next 3 games you sweep a team.
Yeah, bro, it's really interesting. I think it's funny to explain. We are so even keel and so neutral. So, granted, obviously, we ride the high, when we win a series, even when we sweep someone. But when we get swept, it's honestly, these games too they're competitive games. It's not like we're getting blown out of the water. So it's really one of those things where we kind of just say, hey, this wasn't our series, and we just get back to the chalk, get back to the grind the next series and come out, and again we sweep like the Yankees. So it's like you kind of just take it for what it is, and you just keep playing the game, and I think that's been our mindset.
Will you be, I know that the past is the past, will you be able to use this first half as an example to talk to even family and friends that don't know how baseball works? I mean that in sweeping the Dodgers, sweeping the Yankees, taking 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. I know you just had the Tigers sweep pretty recently where they swept you guys, right? And they have obviously a much worse record than the 3 teams that I just alluded to. Does that sum up baseball for when you're explaining to people how this just doesn't work how you think it does?
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of the most interesting games I think ever created. And yeah, I think that was a prime example of, I know we can't curse on the show anymore, but
as happens.
But I think what you just said is a prime example. You kind of just show up, and each day is its own, and you try to win that day, and you show up regardless if you win or lose. You show up the next day, and you get back to work. That's like the biggest thing I think that I've learned is regardless, it's about the mind and about you applying yourself to that day, and you trying to win that day because that's all you can control.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. My question to you, I want to talk about one of your teammates, Elly De La Cruz. He's having a fantastic first half. What have you seen from him? Has he done anything differently? Is it a mindset, or is it just, saying, you know what, I'm trying to change what I want to do here, get pitches that I can hit and not swing outside the zone, really?
Great question. I would say it's really, I think, just the mindset, but it's also he's, way more comfortable, I think, in the league. So you just start to see him at his true self. The pressure is kind of not really a thing to him, even when he's, not doing well or doing well. He's just the same guy every day. So I think you're just seeing just a raw, you just look at this play he just made. Incredible. You're just seeing an absolute athlete do what he does best. And I think once he came into this year and he got a little taste of that success, he's just like, I can do this. And he starts dominating. And he's playing aggressive, which, an aggressive player thing.
Do you think that Elly De La Cruz is the MVP of the National League in the first half of the season. I might be the biggest media member fan of Ellie, and I don't think you're going to hear that much. Like, there's names like Ohtani, there's Bryce Harper's season. We were even throwing Yelich out there. But
For sure.
to me, I watch a lot of Ellie. I test. I don't know where this team would be without what Ellie's done in the first half. There's certain games, like you remember that one Dodgers game where it was literally just Ellie just doing what he wants every time he gets on base, and then one of you guys would bring him in. Okay, so just curious if you would put him up there. I know you're biased, but if you can you've seen every inning of him this year, so you can kind of help to tell the story. Because if you go off like WAR numbers, like Fangraphs WAR, I think he's top 3 in the National League right now. So he's hitting the nerd numbers too.
Yeah, again, I am definitely biased, but he should 100% be in the conversation. He's doing things that obviously other players aren't doing. You know, the amount of bags that he has is, you know, astronomical. He has more bags than I think like 4 or 5 teams, which is incredible. And then he's playing great defense as well as obviously the way he's been hitting the ball this year is really well. So granted, there are other great players that are, you know, in the NL, but you know, I'm gonna put my vote in for Ellie every time. So.
Right,
granted,
go ahead.
What's the one thing that stands out for you? Because Scott is infatuated, and really what Scott wanted to ask was for Ellie's autograph.
No, I don't
that's
do
what,
that.
That's what Scott really wanted because he loves
I
Ellie.
don't give a crap about autographs.
What is the one thing, whether it's one play or his one attribute, but you know, teammate, whatever it is that you are like, golly, that dude's different.
This goes without saying. I mean, the speed is kind of insane. There are multiple times he'll steal a bag and he'll have the worst jump I've ever seen. There was one, I'll never forget this. There's one lefty, right? Kind of like a, let's say, Crash, you know, I mean, he's like a 1.35. So that's still pretty decent. That's not crazy quick, but that's also very manageable. So get this, the lefty's going, he lifts his leg, and as he's coming down, Ellie runs. It was a pitch out, and he was still safe. So after I saw that, that's kind of where I'm like, I don't think we'll ever see anything like that.
And that was kind of that's insight. Sorry, Todd. That's insight on. I think Dave Roberts was talking about.
Yeah, he's like, he hasn't even learned to.
He hasn't even learned,
yet.
And some people took that as like a diss, and we didn't take it as a diss. We took it as like, there's another level for him. So it's so cool that you said that because you see it, and you saw your own maturation in like, okay, I got a ton of talent, but it hasn't shown in the big leagues. And then last year you matured learning that little stuff. And so that's awesome that you said that.
Yeah, his baseball IQ, granted, is good, but you can just tell that he has so much more room to grow. And when you put that into account, it's honestly pretty scary, you know, because he's doing well and he's just going raw off of him being fat, you know, him just being better than what's out there. So it's pretty incredible, to be honest.
Yeah, it's the one I liked, and I'll move on, was him ground ball. I think it was the shortstop, dead as a duck at home, and he slid in, got that hand in there. He wasn't even halfway home, and how he did that was absolutely incredible.
Exactly. There's multiple times where his speed just you're like, whoa.
Let me ask you this question. I'm going to go to a guy that was there last year. He played his last year with.
He's getting that phone call. Hold on one sec.
Of course. Let's wait.
No one no one wants to let Todd ask a question today.
Yeah, I was stepping
Todd,
all over
I almost
Todd.
punched Kratz in the face for you, but if I did, I would break my hand because it's not even a face. Yeah. It's just like a sheet of rock. Oh, here he is. He's back.
Here he is.
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
No,
that's okay.
all
You
good.
got big calls. Big calls.
Big calls. Go ahead, Todd.
My wife was calling me, so.
That's as big as it gets.
That wasn't his wife. That was LeBron.
That
was LeBron hitting him up saying, "Thanks for wearing my jersey, man. I appreciate it."
But I'm the best.
Hey, I want to talk about Joey Votto a little bit. I know he's truly missed on that Reds team. I know you guys got along really well. Talk about the impact he had, and if you guys are missing Joey right now.
Definitely missing him, obviously, for who he was as a player, but also his presence alone, in our clubhouse was huge because he was a veteran who had done it, for a long time and still doing it. And, the way he went about his business, I think was just obviously a lot for us to learn and for us to take in. So not having that there, not having that kind of that poised, veteran there with us is, I would say it affects us in the sense of like we don't have, his stories and his background to be like, hey, I've been through this with, in the past, or um, this is how we get over this hump. So we're truly relying on. Obviously, we got some guys with some time in the league, but not with obviously Joey's expertise. So that's kind of the biggest thing I would say that we're missing. But you know, where we lack in that area, there's other areas where I think we definitely benefit ourselves. So I think the type of team that we have, the brotherhood, the family that we have created, you know, yes, wisdom and 15, 16 year vet would help, but I think for how tight a unit we are, that's one of the biggest blessings that you could ask for, and I think that's where we kind of pick up where we lose joy.
So, Will, give us the review of where you're at right now, and we can even tie it into Joey because, like, I know just a few combos with him really helped things click for you last year. So, where do
Yeah.
you feel like you're at this year, and have you kept in touch with him too about anything? Like, I know he's the kind of guy, if he was paying attention, he would try and reach out or send a text like, "Hey, I was watching this one at bat, and I saw this one thing that
I don't talk to him as much, obviously, because he has his own thing going, and that distance is there. So I obviously want to respect his space. So
Yeah.
I haven't really talked much, but we talked a lot during quite a bit during spring training, just kind of locking in the routines and things that help sustain you for a long season. I think where I am now and understanding, like, I haven't had the success that I've wanted, but what I've done is I've definitely learned from what has transpired, over this first half. And a lot of it is some of the things that have happened in the past to me, but, Todd and Eric, you guys can attest to this. Like when you do have those failures in the league, you need to capitalize on learning from them and not repeat those same mistakes. Granted, the league adjusts to you, but the biggest thing I've learned is there are great players in our league right now that the league's adjusting to, and they still have success. So what is it, right? And the biggest thing that I'm taking away is it's the mindset and the confidence that you need to have on a day-to-day basis to go out there and dominate. Strictly, believing in your routine, right? Believing that the routine that you have is setting you up for success. And then once it's game time, really locking in and beating your opponent. And how many times can I go in there with that full, just that full assurity, right? That I'm gonna win. Like I'm gonna win this at bat and win. I'm gonna win this pitch. Let's break it down even further. Let me win this pitch. So I think that's the biggest thing that I failed at this first half, but that's something I can also build upon and say, you know what, I learned from that mistake. Like I'm not gonna do that again. So that's kind of where I am, and I've been putting together again some good at bats in the past like week and a half or so, where I'm like, okay, like this is where I'm really learning. This is how I can really make this league. So hopefully that continues to play out in the second half.
Yeah, we're seeing it, dude. We're seeing it lately.
I see it. We talked about it the other day.
Yeah. So, Will, keep doing your thing. Also, enjoy the break for a few days, and then you and the Reds are going to be running in the second half. We're excited for it. But thanks for joining us, dude, and we'll get you on at some point in the second half when you're crushing too.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Appreciate you. Thanks, Will.
Yeah, y'all have a blessed rest of your day.
Thanks, you too. That's
All
Will
right.
Benson. Dylan Cruz joining us next on FT.
What's going on, boss? Eric Kratz. Nice to meet
What
you.
changed? Like, what has changed, and how can you help the organization of the Angels get back to where they want to be, which is the playoffs? Let's say they keep you. What's your role? I know you're going to say a veteran guy to help the young guys, but what's changed from the White Sox to the Angels, and then how do you help the Angels become a winning organization?
Yeah, a burger. Chinese people
that's
don't make burgers. No.
I mean, that's a multi-million-dollar question. I think if they had the
chicken,
answers, we'd be playing a little bit better.
Like teriyaki, something that's not fried.
I think they
like
got the right.
Kind of
I think they got the right man in charge in LA. Wash is
What's up?
Been a winner most of
Hey,
his
Scott.
career. He's obviously
Nice to meet
coming
you.
from a very successful winning year after year after year with the Atlanta Braves. And there was no secret. He got a lot of credit for the success that the Atlanta Braves had. He was, not only the infield coach, the third base coach, but, he was the heartbeat of that organization for, many years. He brought a lot of wisdom to the game. He brought a lot of confidence to a lot of players. And he's an unbelievable teacher of the game. He is the right man at the right time for this organization with the amount of young guys they have here, the young talent they have here. Obviously, our goal every day is to go out and try to win games, but he is not losing sight of the short-term goals of teaching these guys how to win and teaching these guys how to do things the right way on the field, how to prepare the right way. I think we've seen the good and the bad.
Is this a lot of busyness for you?
Hey.
What changed? Like, what has changed, and how can you help the organization of the
So, yeah.
Hey, what's up? We're back on FD on Valley Sports Marquee on YouTube, the whole deal. It's Braun Kratz, Todd Father, and Dylan Cruz joining us right now, Nationals prospect. Great to see you, and are you excited for the Futures game?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm super excited for the Futures game. Like I said, we're just talking about everything here. It's just super organized, and I'm just really excited. The gear's been great, and it's my first time here actually in Arlington, so I was a little confused pulling up and seeing two stadiums. I wasn't sure which one was which, so.
You get to play. You get to play on the varsity field.
Yeah.
You're not playing any games on the JV
They do
field.
still play games there, not major league games.
Not his games.
No,
not Dylan
he will never
Cruz.
play there.
He will. I won't say never, but there would be it would be weird if he would play there. It would be some kind of like exhibition, end of his career, right before the Hall of Fame kind of game.
Yeah, exactly.
So one more on Futures, and then I want to ask you about some of your friends that are doing big things too. Who are you most excited to spend some time with? Is there anybody that you know that's going to be here that you've grown up playing against or that you've kept in touch with?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be good to be on the field again with Trey Morgan, and I think he's on the other team, so that'll be a first. But sharing the field with Chase Dolander, Brandon Sproat, everybody here. It's a great group of guys that we got, and special talents coming up in the minor league systems, and just shows the future of the game. So very special, and I'm just glad to be here with these guys.
Hey, Dylan, I know I'm not with you guys. I'm up in New Jersey. I'm curious.
We're in Jersey.
I'm from
Where in
Tom's
Jersey?
River,
You don't know
New
where
Jersey,
Todd
bro.
Frazier lives?
No.
Do you know who Todd Frazier is?
Yeah, I know Todd Frazier.
Home run derby, Little League champion. Look at him. Watch him as he blushes. He'll just keep changing.
He's going to be here too in 2 days.
Now he's mad. Yankees broadcaster.
There you go.
Calling the home run derby on
Calling
Monday.
the home run derby on Monday.
Okay, Todd, go ahead.
Yo,
Go ahead,
Kratz,
Yeah,
enough,
what?
man. Jesus. I'm curious. Who's your manager? Do you know who's managing your team this year for the Futures game?
Actually, I have no idea. That's a good
Does
question.
anybody? Kratzy, didn't
I
you
can
do
tell
it
you.
last year?
No, we did the All-American game.
That was All-American.
Okay.
I can tell you this with all due respect, because I've called the Futures game in past years. It's not a big deal. There's a ton of coaches there that you get to hang out with.
But it's a big name. But it's
it'll be a big name. I'm saying,
name.
but it's okay to not know who your manager is until you're here. Like that is not an important piece of the puzzle. But I don't know who it is. But he's going to find out by tomorrow.
Yeah.
But there'll be a bunch of big dudes there. Griffey usually shows up every year and hits each dugout, which everyone's excited to spend some time with him.
Is there somebody you want to see? Is there somebody not guys on your because you played with all these guys, all the Futures Game guys were in the College World Series last year or in the All-Star Game now, but we'll get to that. Is there somebody you want to see like a ex-player like?
Yeah, I mean obviously Griffey that'd be pretty awesome.
That'd be cool.
He's a pretty special player. So
what if he comes up to you and is like, "What's up, Dylan?" Would that be different? Would that hit different?
Yeah, I think it would. Yeah,
because you're at that level.
Yeah, so
you're at that level.
I think,
that's where you're at right now.
I know it's kind of hard to wrap your head around a little bit.
Why?
I just feel like I'm still a 16-year-old kid just playing the game that I love. So I don't know, it's just pretty awesome. You look up to these guys who have put such an impact on this game, and then just to be recognized by those players, it's pretty awesome.
I'm sure it's going fast for you. Does Paul Skenes starting the All-Star game help to really conceptualize how quickly you go from whatever youth, high school, college, pros, eventually obviously major leagues for you next, and then for Paul it's like, here I am, I'm an All-Star, now I'm starting.
It's pretty awesome. I wouldn't expect nothing less. Paul is just doing his thing. He's a generational talent in my opinion, and I'm not surprised at all that he's starting the All-Star game and in his rookie season. So
come on, not surprised.
Not surprised at all. Not surprised at all.
Well, you got to see him, and also he was a different pitcher at LSU. He's got like double the arsenal now. Right?
I know. He's that good. So I'm just very happy for him.
Did you hit him up when you found out? I mean, it's only in the last few hours, but when's the last communication? Did you shoot him a text or anything?
We talked before the All-Star selection, but he's just I'm doing my thing, he's doing his thing. So like I said, though, I'm just very happy for him.
Is there a little jealousy? And I say that because as a guy who was in the minor leagues for a long time, I always looked at the guys in the big leagues, and if you're not comparing yourself, you're like, and I get he's a pitcher, position players, it's different, but you look at him, you're like, I saw that dude day in and day out. Yeah. I saw when he's a turd. I saw how he, he handles success and failure.
Yeah.
Like, I can do that. Or is there a little jealousy?
No, there's no jealousy. Like Paul, he handles everything so well, just the way he, handles it on and off the field. Everything kind of just happened really fast for him. And, it's just, he's doing his thing now, and he's turned into an unbelievable pitcher, and he's just taking this all by his hand, and he's just working every single day. So I'm very happy for him.
Have you been to any big league camps yet? I'm sure you've been to a couple, right?
It was my first one.
Well, one because it's crazy. It was just picked. Yeah.
Yeah. No, my question to you is there a guy that kind of took you by under your wings there a little bit and helped you out during that camp, like to make you kind of feel like, hey, my time's almost here. I got a routine now. I worked hard. Was there a guy in camp that you were like, man, this guy's pretty cool, man. I love what he did.
Yeah, there's a few guys. Lane Thomas, he's one. Really helped me out, kind of get comfortable there. Jesse Winker, another guy who was there in the locker room who was we're kind of from the same area, so we kind of hit it off pretty easily. So yeah, he helped me out a lot. Joey Gallo, he was very open, and for being, a big name that he is, he was very humble and really took me under his wing. So those guys just really made it a lot more comfortable there and easy transition.
Yeah, and the Nats are coming. We've been talking about them a lot here. They went through the rebuild. It's playing out well. Yeah,
because of guys like this guy.
And there's more coming. We know. So
I'm not just pandering to you.
Yeah,
like it's legitimately like when we talk about the Nats in the future, like you're a name that comes up, and I feel like that's it's cool for me to meet you.
Yeah, exactly. The pitching's been really good. So, Dylan, great to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for swinging by. Have a blast tomorrow. All right?
I will.
And we'll be right back on FT with Druw Jones.
I don't believe I had the little shovel out. It might have been a little tiny.
Good luck, dude.
Thanks, man. Good luck.
You look like you get it.
It's a big shovel for you, though, Ken.
Well, okay, that's a big shovel for me. However you want to put it. I don't remember exactly what I said. I don't usually rule teams out before July 1st. This is a team that has come a long way, and it's really interesting how they've done it without Tucker and with Ronel Blanco and Hunter Brown as their big-time guys in the rotation. Those are not people you expected to be leading them at the start of the season. Can they catch Seattle? They absolutely can catch Seattle. And the Mariners are going to need to reinforce their offense. They know that. They're going through a little bit of a dry spell now, as all teams do. And the Astros, of course, are coming off a 17-8 June. They're hot. But they're the Astros. They have that pedigree, and we all sort of suspected this was coming. It's just hard to imagine the way it's happened without Tucker, without several of their starters. I believe 7 are still on the IL. So from that perspective alone, it's really impressive. They'll get McCullers back. They're getting Luis Garcia back. Hopefully Verlander comes back as well. It's a pretty interesting group, and they will not hold back at the deadline. They will try because they've done that repeatedly under Jim Crane in the past.
It's been unbelievable. And did you see what Ron Washington said the other day about, I think it was Neto, it doesn't matter who it was, but he's like, you're not going to find the answers on the iPad. Well, now when you look at the iPad, they took away the little box, right? So you can't even tell if it's a ball or a strike. And then you guys had to fight, right? You guys had to fight to get it back. Like, what are we doing? Why can't we just see if it's a ball or a strike?
Well, because the umpires didn't want us to be able to see if it was a ball or strike because that was causing issues. And that was the answer. So we fought back, and we finally got the box back. And along with the box getting back, we got a nice email saying if we showed or we referenced like the strike zone on the iPad to the umpire, it's a pretty hefty fine. So strike zone's back, but don't you dare say it to the umpire. Is basically where we're at.
Wow. That is a tad bit sensitive there.
FT is back. We're on Bally Sports TV. We're on YouTube. It's Todd Father. It's Kratz. I'm Braun. Druw Jones joining us right now from the Diamondbacks organization. Great to see you, Druw. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Just excited to be here. Excited for this opportunity.
You literally played like 5 seconds ago, and now you blink and you're at like a big showcase.
Yeah.
You know what this is all about.
Yep.
Have you been looking forward to doing something like this?
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun for all the players, and I'm just excited to get to meet all the new guys that I haven't gotten to meet and get the chance to know everybody.
This is like the more chill All-Star game, like the All-Star game before the All-Star game, obviously the Futures game. I'm trying to explain, what to expect. I've called this game before. What are you looking forward to doing here and who you're going to hang out with and just like what the vibe is like? Did you talk to anyone that's been here?
I mean, just like some of the guys that I know from high school and from the 2022 draft, like Justin Crawford and Tamar Johnson. I mean, they know everything about everything. So, I mean, just getting to talk to them. And I mean, I'm just excited to be here and enjoy this experience. So.
When we were off camera, you were like, I just want to play as many games as possible. Why do you want to play as many games as possible?
I've been like on the hurt train, so just trying to stay healthy, and I mean playing as many games as possible, just trying to get as many at bats and get my feet under me.
Also, he's feeling good too, right?
Yeah.
I know you did some things with the swing, and where are you at?
Yeah, I've been feeling good. I mean, just working every day, just trying to get a little bit better every single day, and just keep going.
Do you feel like that's the answer you need to have, or do you feel like it's something that you're like actually living out and you're like every day you wake up? Because I know a lot of guys when they're done playing, I'm not saying you're done playing, I'm saying like your entire life revolved around being a baseball player. Are you at that point right now, or are you like, hey, you know what? I'm just kind of going out and having fun and enjoying what I do.
Me and my hitting coach, Coach Marcelino from our low A affiliate. I mean, we talk every day about hitting, and I mean, this season's been definitely a roller coaster for me still. But just trying to enjoy every day. That's pretty much all we've been talking about, is just trying to enjoy every day and just getting better every single day.
So these guys like the hard-hitting questions. I have a question for you to build off this. So for me, do you collect sports cards at all? Baseball cards, basketball, anything?
I do not.
Okay. Well, did you know your card, that one card that came out of you, was going for like thousands of dollars? Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I
Isn't
did.
that,
I did know about that.
How
I mean, it's pretty.
How cool is that?
It's pretty crazy. Thinking that, I mean, I knew it was going to be a pretty cool card and it was pretty hyped up, but I didn't think it was going to get that big. So it's pretty cool just to see that.
Yeah, I
was
was
that one of the Bowman cards, Todd?
I was looking. Yeah, no, I was looking hardcore for it. So I'm gonna find one.
Todd
we're
loves
gonna find one. We're gonna send it your way. I need to get that thing graded. So be ready for something in the mail from me, big dog. I need some money. I need some money.
I'll be looking every day.
Thanks, bro.
He's gonna go into the.
Yeah,
he's gonna
really
go
worried
in.
about
He's gonna be like, oh, I thought it was the Todd father sending me the letter.
And it's just going to be somebody sending me a random card.
Yeah, just a random card. You'll be pissed.
That's cool. That's cool.
I've interviewed your father quite a bit. I think we all have on different shows. How is the dynamic of getting asked about him? Like, do you embrace it? Are you sick of it? Do you like, where are you at on that? Everybody we talk to has like a different answer. Sometimes they're like, oh yeah, I love it. It's cool. Like otherwise it's like, no, I want to be myself.
Yeah, it's cool. But sometimes like you want to like answer questions about yourself and not just talk about your dad the whole time. But I mean, it's also, I mean, honestly cool. Like, I mean, not a lot of people get to have that like in their like for them, or like to be able to have that type of conversation with anybody. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, but sometimes it gets a little repetitive.
Sure.
Like. What advice would you give Todd and I? Because Todd played in the big leagues, barely. I played for a long time in the big leagues. Okay, the opposite way. Todd was a superstar, and I wasn't.
Come on.
But we both have sons. What advice would you give us as parents, like, so that you wish you would have been able to tell your dad when you were 14, 16, 12?
Because, I mean, honestly, my dad was kind of like hands off, like just let me go out there and play. Just, I mean, he would help me, like coach me and stuff like when I needed it, but only if I like would come up to him and ask about it. Not really he wasn't like forcing anything on me. That's pretty much how it is. Yeah, he did a good job.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And he keeps – oh, go ahead, Tom.
Let me ask about that, because I'm doing it. My son's 10 years old. And you see all these drills online, everybody making up some stuff, whatever it is. Was your dad like a stickler with drills with you, or was he just like, hey, here you go, man, I'm just going to throw to you. Let's see how the hands are working today. Go do your thing.
He just put a couple on the tee, flipped a couple, threw a couple, and then that was it.
That's perfect. Awesome. That's what
That's awesome.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. Your swing's going to be your swing. We can tinker here and there, but at the same time, bro, if you got it, you got it. There's not many other drills you can make up to make you better.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself as a big leaguer? Do you know what it takes to be a big leaguer? Because you're here at the Futures game. Like you look at all the Futures games guys that are out here that have played before. First Futures game player, Joe Mauer's going in the Hall of Fame. Other guys are coming. But like, do you see yourself as a big leaguer?
Yeah, I mean, every day, like you're going and working on trying to be a big leaguer every single day. So just those little improvements every day will just get you to the right place. And if doing all the little things right, just doing everything on the field that your coaches want and making sure you're picking up signs and running the bases correctly, that'll all take you to get to the next level, and just got to keep improving on that every single day.
And to win.
Yeah.
And to win.
Yep.
Are you guys learning to win in the minor leagues? Because I know when I saw a bunch of guys from the Royals come up through the system, when I saw a bunch of guys from the Pirates come up through the system, like I was with the Andrew McCutcheon, the Garrett Jones, the Pedro Alvarez, those guys that were the winning group, we won in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
When those Royals guys, they all played together, Hosmer, Locane, Alcides, all those guys played together. They won when they made it to the big leagues. Do you guys talk about that with the Diamondbacks?
Yeah, we like to win. all the way up and down our org, like low A to or even complex league all the way up to the big league team. We're always trying to get an extra 90 feet to win a ball game.
I have a question for you in terms of what kind of plays make you most excited. So rank for me, for example, hitting a homer, robbing someone of a homer, throwing someone out at the plate.
Hitting a home run is definitely top of the line. Robbing a home run and throwing somebody out are kind of the same for me. I feel like hitting a home run is definitely probably the top thing because you never know when you're going to hit another one. So.
And how many you got this year?
5.
Okay. Do you have a celly that you feel like? I always ask this. I'm afraid of
what
the
are you afraid
superstars just going in line with like, oh well, I just want to be part of the game. I just want to do the right thing.
You're saying you want something good.
I want you to be you.
I think I don't have like a crazy celebration or anything. I just run around the bases.
You're gonna hit a bunch of them. I mean, I kind of feel like.
Nah, I feel like it's just I don't want to be that type of
you
guy.
Don't be that dude.
Like, nah, just go about it the right way.
Pro is good. Pro is.
So even in the bigs one day, if you're playing with who would maybe egg him on the D-back to do that?
To have some.
That would say like, Druw, all right, we got to do something.
We need a little something.
We, even if you won't do it out there, then when we get in the dugout,
Lourdes
would do it.
Yeah. He's got purple hair.
I mean, we'll see. It'll change. Right now, I'm just kind of going the pro route.
You're just hitting
just hitting and hoping.
Hitting and trotting.
Hitting and hoping.
Visalia, the ball's going to start jumping.
Yeah. It's high. It's high.
Lancaster?
That's not a team anymore.
Oh, Lancaster's not a team anymore. All right, in California, it's Lancaster.
Yeah, you're thinking of PA.
Yeah, that was PA.
Yeah. Stockton is probably the best.
Flies.
Stockton's probably the best place to hit.
Like pop-ups.
I mean, it's they're on the port, so the wind just blows out every day to center field, so it's pretty hitter friendly.
We have a bunch of big league dudes on the team, so I love asking when we have minor league on the show, and I love asking minor league questions.
Mm-hmm.
Tell somebody about
your worst.
Last one. The worst.
Go to break.
Okay.
Make it
worst
good.
Bus trip this year.
Worst bus trip this year. Well, so we were on the way down to either Inland or Lake Elsinore, but we had we have 2 bus drivers that are usually with us, and we had a new one substitute for the week, and the door to the one of the doors to the luggage compartment felt it opened up. And our entire weight room, big box, big black crate with all
y'all
our
were driving.
fell out on the highway.
Wow.
So we had to go up an exit that was 15 minutes away, turn around. We were on the highway for 15 minutes, trying to get all this stuff off the highway. They had to shut down the whole highway. I mean, there was some kettlebells, some bands, water bags, everything you can imagine.
Because of a mistake that this bus driver did, or just the bus kind of broke off.
I guess the crate swerved and hit the door, and it just popped open and everything fell out.
Right out.
Yep.
Wow.
You were hoping your bats weren't in that.
No, I mean I was laying down. I look up and we were turning around. I was like, "What's going on?" And somebody was like, "The big crate fell off the."
That's
bus,
the good stuff, though. You need
all
some of
the
that
time.
in the minors.
All the time.
Yeah, you'll always be able to tell those kind of
that made
stories.
the trip,
Appreciate the big
That's
league
really
flights.
good. Yeah. Well, awesome to meet
thank
you in
you.
person. Thanks for stopping by. Have a blast
thank you.
at the Futures game tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
Druw Jones with us from the Arizona Diamondbacks organization. Harry Ford from the Mariners org is going to join us next on FT.
From my view, the ball was just right in the baseline. So I'm happy I was watching it and not Neto a part of it, because I don't know. I mean, I couldn't really tell who got in the way of who or what had happened. But I mean, I'm just happy we got 2 outs out of it, and it was a weird play, and it's pretty ironic, obviously, that it happened a week or so ago in Chicago, whenever it was.
So should it be changed? Should we change in this rule based on seeing how it happened within 3-4 days, or do you think the rule is correct?
It's a tough one because we got 2 outs from it, so I don't want to change it.
That's okay. I like bias.
Yeah, like 1 out
That's my
instead of
biased
2.
take.
Wait, was AJ's point yesterday? Help me
Strike
here.
2 for you.
AJ's point was it's infield fly. Just call it dead and call the 1 out, and don't call the 2nd out. Right? That was his point.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? If that happens
It
on
makes
the
sense
reverse
to
to
me.
you tomorrow? Okay.
It makes sense to me. I'm going to say yes until a run scores from it, but I agree with it.
I know it's early, but 65 plate appearances. He's hitting 419 with a 446 on base, 742 slugging. And he got cut by one of the worst teams in baseball. So you want to hype up your new teammate a little bit?
Yeah, give me the name because I think I have the guy in my head.
Kevin Pillar?
Yes, that's exactly what I had in my head. KP is one of the best dudes to walk into that clubhouse with. I mean, he's a better person than he is that stat line you just read off, and he makes everyone in that room better. And luckily, I got to not only cross paths with him but play with him for a consistent stretch, And I'm so happy he's doing as well as he is because he deserves every bit of it.
Lucky I got a day.
Hey, here we
back.
are. Well, okay, actually, this was perfect. I was like, you know what? Let Kratz talk while we go right back from commercial
okay.
into the show.
Is this not?
No,
It's
this
live.
is live. This is live on
okay.
national television. Harry Ford
Do you
joining
like-
us
do you
right
like how
now.
you
We're-
look?
I look fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
it looks
good.
great.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
good.
reason why I knew that there was going to be chatting going right into the segment here with Harry, who's the catcher in the Mariners organization, is because I said the key word there, Todd Father. What was the word I said? It's a position.
Mariners.
Oh,
No,
the
position.
catching.
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
Kratz is
Todd.
like, I got a catching prospect. And
I got
they
a new
can talk
glove
for 2
for him.
hours. So
I got a new
go
glove
ahead.
for him if he needs it.
See, is that called
Hey.
a glove or a mitt?
Whatever you want.
It's not.
Thank
a
you.
glove.
Call it.
Thank you very much.
Glove.
Thank you, Harry. Harry, baby.
You got an all-star? You be using that?
No, this is signed by Platinum Gold Glove winner Jose Trevino.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jose
this
gave
is
him. Jose
nice.
gave him. Jose also
Dang.
signed one shoe for him.
dang.
That's true.
Jose?
Right?
I signed
That's
one
sick.
shoe.
Oh wait, Todd, that's right. Yeah, the dude gets a platinum gold glove, and he gives you a mitt, and you sign one shoe for the man. One
Listen,
shoe. That's all you gave him.
all I know that Harry said, listen, it's a glove or a mitt. So I don't even care what happens on the show
doesn't even
anymore.
care.
I don't even care.
Yeah, it's good. You can live in
Hey,
peace.
how
All
was
right, so go ahead, Todd.
How was it playing for Great Britain in the Classic, dude? It looked like you guys were having a blast, pal.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, it was amazing to get to represent my family's country, like my ancestors or grandparents and dad and mom. But it was really fun too, just to play in front of, like, that was my first like big league game, so that was really cool.
Do you feel like this is a big league game?
I mean,
It's on a big league field.
I mean, it's on a big league field, but like, it's like it's not enough to keep a score or nothing. Like, you're playing one inning.
Oh, you're saying the competitiveness.
Yeah. No, like when like World Baseball Classic, like, no, it was like more than a game. We're trying to win for more than just this.
What was
today.
that? What was that like? Because I play with Vance Worley.
Yeah.
Worley is like rookie year. We played together. Then we got called up close to the same time in the big leagues. He got called up before I did. But what's it like playing with guys like that on that stage when you're like used to just being like, well, I'm just going to develop my swing and I'm going to do these things?
It was really cool because I feel like I learned a lot, especially from like Vance, and we had a few other guys who just like were teaching me about pitching, teaching me about like calling a game to win the day, and like it also had a different environment. Like we're minor leagues, you try to win, but you're not really fully concerned about like winning. But like those games was like you got 4 games, you got to win them all. So it was cool.
But it's you. Like people don't know this, and AJ Przinsky is another guy. He played for 19 years actually in the big leagues. I just played for 19 years.
You played plenty of big league time.
But
you did.
We talk about catching all the time, and you're thrust into that moment. Catching is the position that makes everything go. And you guys showed really well there. Do you feel like you improved? Do you feel like you could take something from that and like take it back to your minor league games?
Like
or
from the WBC?
From the WBC? Or do you feel like it was such an overwhelming thing, so much, we got to win, and then it doesn't really apply to what you do back in the minor leagues, per se?
I mean, no, I think I learned like more about myself through those games, because one thing I really took away was like when we played the USA against USA, it's like 50,000 people there. Like I felt like I had to become like a perfect me and like had to make a perfect routine and a perfect plan, and everything had to be perfect to go out there and compete against them. And I ended up sucking. I struck out twice and hit 2 weak ground balls to third. And it was like, I learned that about me, that like I got to just be me, and just like,
awesome.
Like that more than me isn't needed. It's just like who I am that is good enough to go out there and play.
That's so
That's
good.
a great answer.
When a coach taught me that helped me a ton, because all that is really just confidence.
Yeah.
One thing that I got to ask about that was sucking.
This is why they lost.
Man.
Your unis.
I didn't do anything. I don't know.
You know,
I played.
I heard it was you now.
The uniform was in my locker and I put it on.
Yeah. When you first saw it, though, what was your first
I thought
reaction?
they were good. I didn't think they were bad,
Yeah.
so I looked on TV and I'm like, okay, they could be a little bigger, you know?
Yeah.
But like,
they have to
fine
stay on.
to me.
The letters were falling off for some of you
Yeah,
guys.
I know. That was, Twitter saw that quick.
Yeah.
Did y'all joke about that as a team?
Not until after the
okay.
like people were tweeting about it and stuff.
He was hanging.
Yeah, then it was like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
Hey, but we won that game though. So
you did. That's the thing. You guys ended up winning the game where the letters fell off.
It actually, for as crazy as it was, it actually brought a ton of attention to Great Britain baseball, I will say. Because then, of course, stretch this out. Obviously, you don't want that for next go-round.
Hey.
But for this time, you had fans that didn't even care about baseball that were like, what's up with those uniforms? And like, oh, Great Britain's playing in a baseball tournament. So it did actually bring, it was one of those no publicity is bad publicity, or did I butcher that?
Whenever there's a problem or a mistake, God finds a way to make it good. Bro.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah, and whatever, it's uniform, so it was fun.
I love that.
You're currently in Double-A. You've got graded out as having one of the best swing decisions so far as a player. What do you attest that to? Is there something? Is there a drill, or is just eye-hand coordination? You seeing the ball well? I mean, if I had that, I'd probably still be playing right now, if you want the truth, but. Kratzy knows.
And he had good swing decision. He just hit a lot of balls too.
So talk to me about, are you looking for a specific pitch each time until you get to 2 strikes? Tell me about that.
I mean, honestly, it's just God gifted. Like, it's not like I didn't realize I had it until I started playing pro ball and they started telling me that. Like, It's not a drill, not nothing. It's just a gift, I think. I'm definitely working on like going up there with more of a plan and thinking like, okay, if it starts here, or like if it's, because what I get in trouble in is like I'll see it really good, but sometimes I don't get a good swing off. So like I'm working more on like, okay, like what plan can I take to like maybe not be so perfect on the swing decisions, but get a better swing off when I need to.
So doing more damage
on
those pitches that you're. Can that be taught? Because some people were like, "Oh, swing decisions."
I mean, they're trying stuff like that VR
but
stuff.
Can it
like,
be? Do you know? Because you said it's God gift, and I think there's people that have gifts from God to be able to play the game. Like Todd hit a one-handed home run that he threw. Not even one-handed home run. He threw the bat at the ball, and that's what people remember. But he also won the home run derby by just absolutely blasting balls. So he had a gift of incredible buggy whip.
Flex on him, Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got his trophy. You don't see it in the shot.
Bellies right here. He's catfish belly.
Yeah, those forearms.
But I don't think that's something that can be taught. I think it's a gift. But
yeah, but you can improve it. No,
I mean,
by seeing more.
I think of Joey Votto when I think of swing decisions. Joey Votto was phenomenal at that too. So I think it just comes naturally to some people like himself. If you want the truth.
Like I think so too. Like I think it's God gifted. You kind of have it or you don't. But like you can always work on improving it, like in different ways. But I think it's just you got it or you don't. Kind of.
What do you want? Todd brought up about your swing decisions. What do you want Mariners fans to know about you, as far as a person and a player?
As a person, well, I mean. My biggest part of my identity of who I am is like I want people to know that like I don't go out there I don't want to bring honor and glory to myself. I want to bring honor and glory to God and to Jesus Christ, and that everything I do is trying my best to be centered around that. So that's the biggest part of my life, that I want people to know that like Jesus is everything to me. He's king.
Yep.
And about player. You said what I want people to know about me as a player?
Yeah, like what do you like? Well, here, let's finish with this, right? Because we're tight on time. How many stolen bases do you want to have one day in the majors? Catchers don't get to do that much. 40. There you go. See?
Yeah.
That'll get Mariners fans excited. We have Cal Riley on the show all the time. He's not grabbing 40 bags.
He got his fifth the other day.
He might get 40. He might get 40 pumps though.
He might get 40 pumps. That is a good call. That is a good call. We'll look forward to that, and we'll see you tomorrow at the Futures game.
Sweet.
Good luck in that game. Great to talk to you. Great to meet you.
Great meeting you, Mr. Todd.
You too, brother.
Do you think that's why, and I've talked about a little bit about this, the Dodgers, the Rays, they have great success in the regular season. And they get to the postseason, and I know the Dodgers won in 2020. Yes, but it was the shortened year and the shortened play or the different playoff format. But why they've had so much trouble? Because they're able to do the taxi squad up and down, right, with their pitchers. So, we have an IL, like, this guy's hurt, we'll send him down or we'll put him on the 10-day IL. In the postseason, they can't do that. And because they don't use their starting pitchers enough, get deep enough into games, then all of a sudden they get caught and their guys are tired. Like we saw with the Rays against the Dodgers in 2020 when they took Snell out, they brought guys in, they scored.
Yeah, I don't know how you could rely on your bullpen that much. I mean, part of the other part of it is what you do to your bullpen. These guys are gassed by the end of the year. So I listen, I think the game works well when you get minimum 5. And in today's game, I'm not opposed to 6 starters if everybody's used to that. I'm not, because that's also going to ameliorate some minds regarding overwork, overusage. But at least you want at least 5 that you like. And then you got to have like this stockpile somewhat in your minor league system because guys are going to get hurt. The thing we did with the Rays, I can't remember the exact year it was, but Alex Cobb was coming on. So we had a 5-man until right after the All-Star break. Then we broke into a 6-man for about 2 or 3 trips around the order. And then came back to 5. And I really liked that a lot. So even if you could get creative with 5 and then drop a 6 in there once in a while, come back to 5. Because early in the season, with so many days off, rainouts, et cetera, the 6th guy can really make it even more difficult and better. So there's different, you got to like plan this out in advance. And you have to have way more than 5 starters that you dig. And you have to have that arsenal in AAA. Absolutely you do. But the more innings you draw out of your starting pitchers, the better your bullpen's going to be. That's an easy equation to decipher. When you put so much emphasis in innings and high leverage moments as they're described on bullpens constantly, these guys are dead when it comes to September and October.
Here we go. Xavier Isaac in the Tampa Bay Rays organization joining us. It's going to be in the Futures game tomorrow. It's Kratz, Braun, and Todd Father to chat for 10 minutes. Great to see you. And are you excited for the game?
Who wouldn't be excited?
Yeah, you better be excited,
this is
right?
the best day of my life. So
That's awesome.
Can't wait.
I love that answer. Some guys, respectfully, some guys will, try and play cool. Like, yeah, I'm going to, it's going to be cool. It's going to be
Nobody
good.
that we've had on has said that.
No, everybody's been at this level.
Excited. And that's what I love watching about
the
this.
appreciation factor.
Yeah, just like, yeah. Anyway.
No, you like that. Because I will say, hopefully everything works amazingly for you. You make 1 million all-star teams and all of that. But never forget this moment. Because even sometimes, we talk to the big boys and the bigs every day. Sometimes it's like, I wish they would come to every all-star game. Like even if something's bothering, still show up. Just be there. Because this is everything. People want to see you, even if you can't play, in the future.
Face.
Yeah, just show face. That whole deal.
Exactly.
So,
I feel that.
Yeah, these guys talk about it all the time.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here. First time in Dallas. So, okay.
Take me through when you heard about this. Like, obviously, you want to be in the Futures game. Did you have a feeling like this could happen? And did you get a phone call?
Yeah, of course, I was off to a hot start, and I was thinking like maybe I might get a little call, but was not coming, and I was like, all right, maybe not. So I just keep playing. So just kept playing, and then maybe 2 weeks, I think a week before the 4th of July, ended up getting a call from my manager, me and Trey, into the office saying that we made the Futures game. And I was like, wow, we're pumped. And ended up just going right back to baseball playing. And then now I'm here. I can't wait.
Have you picked up your swag or anything yet? Have you
picked up all my free stuff. And then now I'm doing the interview stuff.
And
it's
are you juiced about the?
Oh, it's sick.
Are your teammates
going to give you?
They gave us book bags, bats, gloves.
That looks legit.
It's legit. I must hang it up.
Yeah.
Right now.
You can't have it.
Too pretty.
No, it says Futures game on it, and
has
it's
your name
all
on it too, right?
Yeah, all designs on it and stuff. That's what it's sick. So.
Is that your favorite piece of swag that they're giving you here?
Well, no, I think Wilson's glove. I think Wilson's glove gave me. It's a red and blue glove, and it's sick. I don't have it. I don't know where it is, but it's
like a real glove
new,
or like a
new
trophy glove.
No, brand new right-handed glove. I can't use it, but it's a right-handed glove. I can hang up, something.
And your name on it, though.
No, I don't think so, but yeah.
Display that. Kratzy, you got a couple of those somewhere. You got to display those bad boys.
Yeah.
Kratzy got them from your Little League when you played Little League.
Yeah, boy. Only trophies I have fit on my fingers.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
humble brag.
That's right.
Brag.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you got some pop, man. You got some power. I've been reading about you here a little bit, dude. Could you see yourself, first off, after you make your major league debut, can you see yourself being in a home run derby, dude? Would you like to do something like that?
Of course. I've always dreamed about doing it. Yeah. I knew I was one of the favorites for the Futures. Ended up not getting it, but it's not. This is a small goal, and I think the All-Star home run derby versus Pete Alonso and Aaron Judge would be great, and all those guys. So.
Is there somebody in the home run derby that you remember watching, like even from like being young or recent, whichever?
Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper's your
was
favorite?
The guy. Yeah, that year that he went and won in National. Yeah, DC was sick when he won it back at home, and just it was nuts. And I was like, I can do that.
What about someone else that won one at home?
Say Todd Frazier at the Reds.
There you go. All right.
This is Todd.
He was trying to give you a little hint there. That's all good.
He's too young,
good.
Todd.
Yeah, my guy was in middle.
2015. What? 2015 was the year, right?
My guy was in middle school when you were hitting in the home run derby.
Yeah, I was 12.
Oh wow.
Okay, there you go.
12 years old.
Hey Todd, this is like you're like a sneaky big guy. My guy is just a big guy. Like
I could tell. He's comparing with you, Kratzy. That's saying
I know.
something.
I'm feeling like I'm a little like squished between
your shoulders. Your shoulders are getting a little snug.
Yeah, like I feel like I gotta stretch out here. Who is the one person that you want to meet while you're here?
Bryce Harper. That's my favorite player since I've been growing up. And we were just talking about it too, of course. And Bryce Harper has always been the guy I've always wanted to meet. Corey Seager is a good guy. I've always wanted to meet. I just want to pick their brains a little bit and just see what they got to say about, stuff on their mind. But other than that, I'm just happy to see whoever I can at that point. So,
what would you ask him? What would you ask Bryce Harper? And would you get nervous when you did it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I would be nervous.
Good. That's awesome. I love that you're honest about it.
Yeah, it's Bryce Harper. I've always looked up to him, so I'm not gonna say no. But what would I ask him? I would honestly, as a baseball question, I would just really ask him what's his approach at the plate. Like, what do you think up there? And like, especially versus lefties, I just want to know. I feel like I'm not the best versus lefties, just to see what he has to say versus the left-handed pitchers.
Right.
That's really it, though.
I got one more for you. Do you know about the skills competition that they have? Are you doing anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I got favored for the home run derby, but I don't think I did it. But
Okay.
I think my boy Trey Morgan's in the hitting one, so pumped to see him win that.
Yeah, because I don't know much about it, but we've been talking it up.
I'm
So
so
I think
excited.
that if it goes well, it could maybe go to the major leagues. Maybe.
Oh, yeah?
We could see it in the major, at least a piece. Like they'll
That would
see
be
what
sick.
works.
That would be sick.
Do we have time for just or is Todd
Like
going?
it's got to be it's got to be one quick one. Go.
Should they?
Yes.
Should they do all this stuff
Yes.
in the big league one?
Yes.
You
I
want to
think
see
so.
that as
Yeah.
a young player, as a fan of baseball?
Yeah, I think not everything's about hitting homers. I think if you can call your shot, I think they're doing this thing is like call your shot. You
Yes.
hit it here, you hit it there, you get more points. And I think that's barrel control. And I think that's even more impressive.
That's real baseball.
Yeah,
Real
and that's
baseball.
good for kids to see too.
Yes.
So
Very.
hey, you're very impressive. Awesome
Thank you,
talking to you.
guys.
Have a
Appreciate
blast there tomorrow.
Thank you.
Xavier Isaac
luck.
from the Tampa Bay Rays joining us right now. Yes, good luck tomorrow. Top Father, take over for 1 sec. Give us now is your time, your picks for the Derby.
Yes.
And
All right,
we'll bring
so-
our next guest while you do that.
So some of you might know, some of you might not know. I'll be announcing the home run derby with Carl Ravage, being the head guy, Eduardo Perez, and me. Gonna have a blast. It's my first one in my career coming up. I did it for 3 years now. I get to announce it, give some good insight. And for me, if I had to pick right now, I have to stick with the guy I know and the guy I love would be Polar Bear Pete Alonso. This guy, it's a new format, as we know. So he's not going head-to-head until the second round. So he's going to absolutely launch balls. There's a bonus round. You got to hit a ball 425 feet. I think he will. There is 2 dark horses, though, that I'm like into seeing. Jose Ramirez, I want to see if he bats lefty. I think he'll have a shot. And then Alec Bohm. He's just that type of guy that's just going to go up there and swing, and nobody's really going to pick him. He's that guy that's just chill. Other cool's the other side of the pillow, and you might just see him win it. So couple insights on that. Can't wait to get down there, see the boys, and go from there. That's it. I don't want to see that face either.
We don't have time for it right now because we got 5 minutes for a combo, but we'll get a Derby debate going, and Todd's going to be here in person
I
for
want
it.
Luke to.
We'll get a pick from him.
Yeah, we'll get a
we
pick
can do
from Luke. Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
I think or who I want?
Both.
Okay.
We'll go
Yeah,
over both.
both.
First off, so I can intro you correctly, because you've already had your name butchered 3,000 times in life.
That's all right.
Tell me how to say
Keaschall.
Keaschall. Luke Keaschall joining us from the Minnesota Twins organization. See, once we say it here, now the world knows. This is on national television, including for the Minnesota crowd, because this is Valley Sports North watching right now too. They are watching.
Yeah.
So, have you been watching the Twins this year and the quick rise of some of their young players? I know for Royce Lewis, it took some time just because of injuries, but the prime example right now is to see Brooks Lee immediately come up to the show. They developed him right, and it is hard to hit the ground running these days in the majors, and he's doing it.
I mean, Brooks is a stud. If you ask anybody in the org if he was going to hit the ground running, they'd all say, yeah. I mean, the way he takes his work, the way he goes about things, it's really impressive, and I love seeing him do so good up there.
How do you do that? I ask because it's been a big topic this year that the separation between the majors and the minors keeps extending, right? Like there's some guys that come up to the show and they really go through that struggle for a little bit. Is that talked about? And how can you develop yourself to be prepared, or is that not possible?
I mean, I can't really speak because I haven't played in the major leagues before.
But
the way I think of it is like you just got to go out there and be the same guy and play the game the same way. So not let the moment get too big and just kind of just be your same self no matter where you are. I think Brooks does that perfectly. He's the same guy every day.
Mm-hmm.
Keaschall, can you imagine this lineup? I wrote it down here. Keaschall leading off, Royce batting second, Brooks Lee third, Walter Jenkins. I mean, ooh-wee. Talk about a nice starting lineup right there.
That would be a lot of fun.
Do you guys talk about that?
I mean, not really. I haven't really met Royce Lewis or any of the big leaguers. I didn't get to spend any time on big league side last year, but Walker's a great kid. Got to spend a lot of time with him so far and made a good friendship out of him. And I've known Brooks for a while now, even before I got drafted. So it's been a couple guys that I've gotten close with and stuff like that.
What's it like to be in the Twins organization? What do people say the Twins do that maybe other teams don't or that makes them unique?
I mean, I have nothing but great things to say about them. They've treated me great. The development's been awesome, whether it's in the strength and conditioning aspect, the hitting aspect, fielding-wise, have really helped me a lot in infield. I don't have much to compare them on because,
Sure.
I mean, but at the end of the day, I mean, they've done nothing but great things for me and been really helpful throughout the whole process.
You can compare this. Do you look ahead and you're like, all right, I'm going to make the big leagues with the Twins? Yeah, I get it. You get traded, all that stuff. You a little worried about how freaking cold it is in April in Minnesota?
Yeah, you'll adjust, whatever.
But that's what I'm saying. You'll adjust. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay.
It's just weather.
It's just weather.
Yeah, right.
That's how you have to look at it if you're in that org.
You have to look at
Yeah.
it. But I remember the
Baby
Twins used
oil.
to be in Rochester. Baby oil.
Learn
I've
how to
got it.
douse
He was
yourself
soft.
in
That's
baby
what
oil,
works.
man. Oh, all day, from head to toe. I'm telling you right now, you feel like but it's gonna keep you a little bit warmer than what you are.
I believe it. I'll have to give it a try someday.
Yes.
Yeah, and
No
don't
doubt.
shake Todd's hand though after that.
Yeah, that's why Todd was throwing bats all the time.
Yeah.
Baby oil in your hands.
They would try and tag him, just slide,
Yeah, he just
slide right
slides
off
out of the
him.
way.
Yeah. All right, last one because we're getting off in a sec off TV. You mentioned Derby, so are you gonna be watching? What's your pick here?
I don't know exactly who the participants are. I saw like Gunnar Henderson and Bobby Witter in it, so
Yep.
that would be
That's
sweet
two
if
good
one of
ones.
those shortstops won it. But I mean, obviously the favorite's probably Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso, yeah. I think Ozuna's probably up there too, just
Yeah,
based
Ozuna's gotta
on
be in
what he
there.
can do. And
No.
all right, so no.
Todd says no. Todd knows.
Ozuna's
calling
swing is he's gonna pop a lot up, in my opinion. That's my opinion. We'll see.
Really?
Hey,
Fair
Todd,
enough.
Yeah, but you can. But I don't know if you heard the balls are wound a little bit tighter for the
Never
Derby
heard
usually.
of that. No, never heard
Yeah,
of that.
Never
a little
heard-
tighter.
He didn't get a baseball for winning it. He got a huge trophy.
He did. Yeah, it's sitting right next to him.
Yep.
But anyway, Luke, great to have you on. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you
stopping
for having
by.
me.
Hopefully people can hear us. We're
We're
up.
here.
Okay, we're still
here.
here.
We're
We
here.
got a
We'll
little
just-
business left to do. A little business left to do.
We had some peeps.
Okay, Top
Showing
Father,
up.
you don't think we'd let you leave without
Ugh,
getting a little Friday lock action?
Todd needs it. I need it from Todd.
BetMGM lock. We'll keep it snappy. Hey, people. All right, so let's look back quickly at yesterday. I didn't get enough runs from the Dodgers. Man, they got swept. We didn't have time for that today, but the Phillies, they made a statement against LA. I know LA's missing a billion dudes right now, but Trey Turner was on another level. You lost. Pap lost.
Who?
Sorry, AJ lost. Pap lost. You won.
So great. That was as no sweat as you could get for me.
Love that. All right, Todd Father.
Get those
Mr.
records
17 and 7 up over
500.
35 hundo.
Need that.
Yeah, Todd, you and me have those records real tight, but I don't swing with the big bucks like you do. You're on fire this year.
Yeah, so I'll start it up here. You guys are putting
Yeah.
a lot of pressure on me. I'm going simple bet, even though they're slight underdogs. Red Sox at home plus 105, 300 to win 315. They're playing the Royals, who haven't been hitting the ball pretty well. So I'm gonna. I don't know who's pitching. It hasn't shown yet, but I'm still gonna stick with the Red Sox. Jaron Duran getting another triple today too as well.
The Royals, I think Reagan's is pitching tonight, dude.
Cole Reagans.
Fine with me.
He knows. Hey, if somebody knows, he knows. I would question it if it wasn't Todd.
I got Red Sox money line tonight though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
great.
plus money. I think it was plus 105.
Yeah.
I'll hit that too. There's actually a pretty big bullpen advantage right now. I think the Royals are excited to get to the All-Star break to kind of reset and also focus on what they need in terms of
I say they're the first team
reinforcements
to
make a move.
I think
they
so.
did it last year in the reverse. They traded Chapman to Texas pretty early on. And this time, maybe they get active because they need to stay involved in the wild card race. Obviously they're playing well, but they don't have the same depth because they're kind of early on their trajectory. Do you know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. But they built this team to compete all year. Make the playoffs, that'll come out in the wash. But they build it to compete, and so that's why I think they're going to be the first team to move because they're not going to make monster moves either.
Right. That's why I got the Sox tonight too. I'm with you. Let's see if they can get to Reagan's before the break. What do you got?
I actually had to pull it up. I got just a 3-game parlay.
A 3-game parlay.
I got the Phillies, the Brewers, and the Cardinals to win. I got Sonny Gray going for the Cardinals against the Cubs. The Cubs just came off of the sweepy of the Orioles. It's time to come back down to earth facing Sonny Gray. I got the Brewers going. My guy Freddie P wins games. And the Phillies are playing the A's. So I got the Phillies also winning.
Wow. There you go at plus 179. So you got to do all that work. And Todd, Father, and me for plus 105. We just need one dub. One dub against Mr. Reagan's.
Yep.
And also, I'm telling you, obviously, but we did send in our picks separately.
That's crazy.
So
I had no clue. I had no clue you did that. So now I'm definitely going to lose.
Stop it, dude. I'm in every other guy. I lost yesterday, so that's actually good.
Good.
Water levels out. Introducing our MLB Grand Slam jackpot. If you've been, snoozing for the last 3 months, then please go check this out. A weekly bet and get promotion where you place a wager at $10 or more on any player to hit a home run on a weekend day. So on a Friday, on a Saturday, or on a Sunday game. And if the player hits a Grand Slam on that day in that game, you can win the $50,000 daily prize or a share of the prize with every other winning bettor for that particular granny. Okay? Gambling problem or concerned, call 1-800-GAMBLER. And that's going to do it for today's FT. Hope you enjoyed a little prospect action with some of the conversations that we had with some of the top prospects in the sport. Like we started out right away. Dylan Cruz, Druw Jones coming through. It's a good time out here. We'll have some great interviews. Todd, Father, safe travels when you get over here. We'll keep it nice and toasty outside for you, and we will see you on Monday, big dog.
Thank you. Todd's hats today, Yankees. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Kratz hats today.
That's okay. We'll do it another day.
Save it for tomorrow. We're busy. We got to do – actually, please tune in. We got a Baseball America Prospect Pad show coming up later, and then 5 hours of draft coverage on Sunday night. Okay? That is where you should watch the draft on Valley Sports or on FT YouTube. We will see you for that.